racially motivated crime.
Now investigated as a hate crime attack.
We haven't slept. We literally have not slept since it happened.
Friends, because I'm going to beat y'all up.
Women around the world are being attacked and harassed just for their religion, sexuality, or just acting like themselves. And it is not right.
It needs to stop.
We're all different kinds of colors and textures and deep. It's a mosaic. That's who we are.
Well, when I first started dating Andrew, my husband, yes, it was kind of bad because I guess people weren't used to like seeing an interracial couple, so they kind of treated us bad. But now, not so much, where it's like normal. I've never been discriminated against or profiled or anything like that, so it was kind of different. I felt uncomfortable. It felt bad, you know, because I didn't really understand it. He's gone through it his whole life, so he's used to it. But for me, it was a little different. Now it's, like I said, now it's a lot easier to deal with all that stuff. So now I can deal with it better, but before it wasn't. It was pretty bad. It was hurtful. I mean, honestly, it doesn't really happen now as much as it did back then. Mind you, this was 12 years ago, so it's a lot different now. I think now it's a little bit more accepted, so it's not as bad. But I mean, it made me feel bad. People just assumed that sometimes that I was just with him, or he was with me because of good credit and all that stuff. But now it's not as bad as it was before. I mean, I think it's easier now. Used to being followed in the store. He's used to people not liking him because of his color, and he's also Hispanic. So for him, he's never felt like he's ever belongs because he's not black and he's not Hispanic. He's mixed, But it's never really done anything for our relationship. Now we have a daughter, and that's affected her, and it has affected us as a family. In the beginning, when I first had her, they used to think that I was her nanny. Because obviously I'm really white and she came out like caramel color. So they used to think I was her nanny. So they would ask me if I was taking care of her, and that made me feel horrible. Like, oh my God, I'm going to go through my whole life with my daughter not looking at like me or being a different color. So it made me feel terrible. It didn't affect our relationship. It actually made us stronger, because she understands being discriminated against and being racially profiled when she in school, or her hair is curly, but it hasn't affected our relationship at all.
I am Vivian Glage, and I was born in Mexico City, but I moved to the United States 20 years ago, and I have many stories of anti-Semitism against me, and they were like sometimes very silly and sometimes a little bit more complicated. For example, when I just got here to the United States, I came here and I had a little baby, so I started hanging out with a group of friends that had babies too, and everything was great. We went to the park and we did everything together, and we were very good friends, but actually the topic of religion never came up until one day when they were talking about having a reunion for all the moms. Suddenly, I told them oh, I'm so sorry I can't make it that day because it's going to be one of the Jewish holidays. And I could see the faces of everybody oh my God. And that was the last time that they spoke to me.
This issue is important to us because we are young women in America where nobody is equal.
Women are constantly overlooked and treated different than men just for being themselves.
If women are being attacked for just living, couldn't that mean my friends and I could be next? Are we next?